we're gonna, we're gonna have another staff, it'll be staff to staff, trying again, yet again, to convince the province of some of the errors of their way that, they may not like the extra 25,000 that we put in. There's little we're gonna be able to do to fight that. They've stripped it out, they are the ultimate authority there, and we've got no tools to do anything else. But some of these other, some of their other planning rationale, we've got to get to them because it's going to be to the detriment of all our communities. And so our staff are still going to meet, and I expect after that point, then there'll be our staff here at the city will meet with the other lower tiers with the region because we've got to hammer this thing out and somehow get some sanity into the province's response. I'm not going to condemn the whole thing because there's some things that just, they're not worth fighting over. But some of these other things are huge, absolutely huge for us.
So we may, in fact, because of the 25,000 jobs being stripped out, may have to strip out land ourselves, I would think.
Well, the net effect is that the province has actually, if you look at the maps, they've actually pulled out lands in Oshawa. If you look up by, I think, Winchester, Grandview area, I think over by Harmony and Collin, if I'm not mistaken, and then there's some areas south of the 407 that have been pulled out. And from my perspective, that's south of the 407. I mean, that's very doable within that 2031 timeframe.
So,
but it will result in, when you take 25,000 jobs out of the equation, it does result in an over-designation of land. That's simple math.
So, Your Worship, could we not then be strategic and say we want to develop the land south of the 407 and take that land out north of the 407, the entry to Columbus, so that we solve potentially two problems. We preserve our 170-year-old hamlet, but we also develop the land south of 407, and that becomes, in the interim, a bit of a barrier with regards to development. I would think that would make sense because those, to me, would be the most developable sites, especially if you have direct access to the 407 and the 401. That's where you want your major jobs to be. Would that work?
I mean, I wouldn't be so hasty as to just strip out along the 407 either, just because that is going to be prime land, and we all have that vision of high-end uses along there. So I think we've got to be careful of what we give up as well in that, and I think it's going to be very careful. And if at the end of the day, the edict is the edict, then Mr. Hodgson and his staff are going to have to do some strategic calculations to figure out where those lands should and shouldn't be, based on the strip out of the 25,000 jobs across the region.
But it is possible that we can do it.
That might be possible, yes.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Councillor